What is going on? I'm already laughing. Um, we are about to get started with Open Mic Live, but first, as always, a word from our sponsors.
At InDigital, we know that public safety professionals hold themselves to a high standard. In fact, standard doesn't do it justice. In over 25 years working alongside you, carrying millions of calls over our IP networks, your dedication has inspired us. That's why our ESI Net goes beyond industry standards, not only i3 compliant, but designed to adapt to future development for a network you can count on when it matters most. Learn more at indigital.net.
Carbine, it's multimedia. You can get text, translate to whatever language, getting away with the legacy equipment and going into a cloud-based solution.
It's the first time in U.S. history that we have an EZNet through cloud-native call handling.
As a police officer, to have the victim go video, that's unheard of.
You're getting upgrades every month, not every year.
To schedule your free Carbine demo, please visit carbine.com/WTT.
If Within the Trenches has ever taught you something, open your eyes to what it is like to be a 911 dispatcher, or has inspired you to become one, then help support us and join our Patreon. Get exclusive bonus content, one-of-a-kind swag, discounts on merchandise, ad-free early access to new episodes, and much more. To join, please visit patreon.com/WTT podcast. And if you're an industry partner, we have something for you as well. And now, for the show.
This is Jordan, and you're listening to the Code 7 Podcast Network.
Warning. This episode contains the 3 A's of podcasting: adult content, adult language, and awesomeness. You've been warned.
Dispatch.
There is no one over here to cook our lunch. We are waiting for our lunch, and there's no one here to cook our lunch.
All right, calm down. Where are you at?
The group home. Now, what are you going to do?
We'll get some help over there for you, okay?
Welcome to Open Mic, where we visit the lighter side of dispatch, because laughing is good medicine. Yo, what is going on? I'm exhausted. I've had probably like 2 hours of sleep, I think, something like that. But I swear to you, it was worth it. Man, I've been on the go all day today. Well, since yesterday, actually, since last week. There's a lot of stuff that I've been working on. It has been crazy, but it has been fun. And there's still a lot of work to do, but I'm excited. And I'm going to be sharing a few things here in a moment, but welcome back. It is October 6th, and man, it's already going by fast. But we are here for Open Mic Live. This live broadcast is sponsored by InDigital as well as Carbine, and a big shout out to patrons as always, especially the new patrons that have come on. Thank you so very much. All of that, what comes in from patrons and everything goes towards Crowdcast and this platform as well, StreamYard. And Crowdcast is the platform that I use for virtual events. And so thank you all for the support and everything. I appreciate it more than you know. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. But as always, for Open Mic Live, let's start with this first. How are you feeling? How are all of you doing? So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being shitty and 10 being amazing, how are you feeling? Even though I have only had a couple hours of sleep, I'm feeling pretty good, man. Maybe I'm delirious. I don't know. But I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really good. And I'm excited to be here with all of you. We've got Roxy jumping in here at a 9.5 snaps. Dominique at a 10. Yo. Sarah Pagel, what's up, yo? At an 8. Awesome. This is good. This is really good. As always, please make sure to throw in some reactions. Share this broadcast on your feed or your favorite podcast page. Podcast page? See, I'm not thinking right. I'm thinking because, the, the stuff that I usually say for the podcast. No, your favorite dispatch page is what I meant. So your feed or favorite dispatch page. There we go. There we go. Throw that out there. Let's get some let's share it up, get some people in here, some especially new folks, man. It's always good to have new folks. So if this is your first time at open mic, please throw that in the comments as well. What we do here at open mic is we check in with each other, but we also share the lighter side of dispatch. We share some funny 911 stories or situations that happen in 911. Sometimes we share just some funny stories from life, from our personal lives, and I'm the one who's usually the one sharing all of that. And I looking at my notes, I still have stories here that I have not shared yet. Now, I think 2, maybe 3 open mics ago, I left you on a cliffhanger, and the question that I left with everyone was, what is something like growing up, like what is something that you hid from your parents? And we'll touch on that story here in a moment because I've got some stuff that I want to talk about. There's also some embarrassing stories that I can share as well, which will make it fun because then it opens up even more conversation, and then all of you end up telling me some stuff sometimes that has happened to you or something similar, or maybe even a call that has come in that is similar to whatever story I was talking about. One of the stories I talked about last time was one where I was in high school and I was running a mile relay race, and I was the last person. I was the closer, and it was the event that was the only one that I was running for that track meet, and it was the very last one. And my parents showed up and brought me this big ass bottle of Gatorade, and I drank the whole thing. And by the time it got to the race, I had to go to the bathroom. And I run over to which I shouldn't have been running, right? I should have been conserving energy for for the actual race. But I end up going to the school and the doors are locked. And there's no portos, there's nothing. So I had to run back, and I ran that race, dude. We won, but it was because I was running like lightning, like grease lightning. Because I had to go to the bathroom. And then I ended up having to hold it all the way back to the school, which was a long ride because there was no bathrooms, there was nothing, man. It was horrible. But that's just like I said, that's just one of the stories, some of the stuff that I share sometimes. And I see Sarah Pagel here laughing. Dude, it was horrible. I still think about it sometimes because I remember somebody telling me that it's like, there's a dugout right over there. Go pee over there by the dugout. I'm like, okay. And I go over there and I go to do my thing, and my bus rolls up, and the bus driver is like, I'm like, zip. I'm like, hell no. So I remember sitting like the second to the last seat of the bus, and my girlfriend at the time, um, she's sitting with me, okay? She's sitting with me, and she felt so bad, like she's patting my back and rubbing my back, and I'm like this on the seat, and everyone is like just making fun of me so bad, and my girlfriend is yelling at them while still kind of laughing at the same time, which was funny. She's like, "I'm sorry, it's funny. I can't help but laugh." I was like, "I don't care." I was like, "You guys can laugh all you want," but she was sticking up for me, and she I just remember her saying, "You guys need to stop. You have no idea." And I was like, "No, you don't have any idea. This is so bad." But I held my own, man. I held it. No driblets, no nothing. And I remember when we got back, everybody was cool because they're like, "Let Rich," nobody knew me as Ricardo in school, just so that you all know. everyone called me Rich. That was it. Or my cousins would call me Richie, just like my family does. So they would say, "Let Rich off. Rich has got to go to the bathroom really bad." And it was so bad that I look like fucking Quasimodo, dude, like walking out like all hunched over. Like and my waist hurt so bad, dude. It was horrible. And I get off of the bus finally as I'm all like hunched over, like, "Oh God, help me, please, please." And I make it to the bathroom and I'm able to go and I come out and everyone is just laughing. And I remember thanking the Lord. I was like, "Thank you," because that would have been bad. It would have been so bad. Oh, Sarah says, "So can I call you Richie in real life now?" I mean, if you want, that's cool. Some people call me by completely different names. In dispatch, I had a good friend in dispatch who called me Ricky D. Why? I don't know, but that was my name. It was Ricky D or Ricky. So, yeah, sure. But that time, man, I will never forget it. Um, but there seems to be stuff like that, stories like that where it has to do with having to use the restroom. I mean, you all know my Red Bomb Red Bull story, so I mean, it just continues. It's so crazy. Let's see. Sarah says, "Dude, you're a dude. Could have peed in the woods." Nah, son. There was no woods around there. It was the school, the baseball field, the dugouts, and the track. That's it. I mean, any woods that were close were way far out there. I could barely walk as it was. I would have never made it to the woods because, I mean, the bus rolled up and they're like, "We gots to go." And I'm thinking the same thing. So do I. So do I. Let me on the bus. Let's get the F out of here. Let's do this. Oh my God. You know what's funny is that sometimes at conferences, people will walk by and they'll be like, "Hey, you want to hit up a gas station and get a burrito and an energy drink?" And I'm like, "No, I don't. Stupid." But it's funny to me because even at my expense, man, I love to laugh. Like, there's why waste time being pissy and shit? Like that I'm not about that. I am not about that. Like I would, even if there's something that is annoying me and stuff, like I try my best to look at the lighter side, like we do here at Open Mic. We look at the lighter side. And because I don't have time for that shit, man. I don't have time to be angry or dealing with trolls or anything like that. Like I want to have a good time. And you know, that's kind of why I got this tattoo. The time is now. Let's do this. Let's have some fun. Let's live, right? So that's why I love sharing these stories again, even if it's at my expense, because man, it's funny. It's good times. Let's see. Just looking back in the comments here. Julie, hey, what's going on? What's going on? This is good. I love having everyone here and us sharing stories and everything else. And so you know what? Before I get to a couple of these other things that I really want to share, I'm going to share another story with you. So I'm going to jump in. Like I said, 3 open mics ago or so, I had asked all of you, what is something that you hid from your parents? I have something that I hid from a parent. A parent. Oh, hold on. Roxy says, I can't really say the worst thing I did that my mama didn't know. Oh, Roxy. Let's see. I'm not sure what the statute of limitations is. I did set a fence on fire once, accidentally, supposedly. She didn't know until I was like 30. Dude, okay, so this is the other thing that I love about open mic because it's not always funny 911 stories. Like, of course, there'll be a lot of people who will share funny 911 stories and everything else, but it's always fun to have just regular conversation like this, where we're talking about shit like this, where like Roxy says, she didn't know until I was like 30. And it's fun to go back and forth, right? And just share stories like this. Like I after every time I get done with open mic, I just like, ah, like that was good. That was fun. Like I feel good. Like this continued, having fun and stuff. So there'll be some conversations, and it's always awesome when my siblings and I are together and we're talking about certain things. And we can feel our mom staring deep into our souls. And we turn around and you're like, and she'll just be like, why is this the first time I'm hearing this? Like, are you serious? Are you guys for real right now? Are you for real? Like you're grown, but I'll still take you out. And if you've seen pictures that I've posted with my mom, she's like 5 foot nothing. But it's in that nothing that you'll get destroyed. I mean, it's like the never-ending story, the nothing coming through and destroying everything in sight. I'm just playing, it's not that bad. But sometimes she'll give you that look and you're like, "Oh, okay. What? I'm sure a lot of you are the same way with your parents. And, or even grandparents or whatever, or you yourself have inherited the look. I know I did. From my dad. I look at my kids and they're like, "What?" You just wanted to see if you're paying attention. So, here's the story. Okay? Wow, that kind of sounded like some Brady Bunch shit that I was about to go into, right? That's not where I was going with it. Okay. So, when I was 15, I was really into lowriders and Lowrider magazine, but also, um, really and I still am now, but like it was really kicking in. Like I was really starting to understand like my heritage and everything, and I wanted to get a tattoo. I was 15. Okay, I didn't think this was gonna happen. I was like, I'll ask my mom, see what she says, and she said yes. She said yes. And I was like, "Hell no, for real? Like, are you being for real with me?" Like, or because my mom is like me. Oh, I'm like my mom. We like to joke around and stuff, and I thought, "Oh, maybe she's just messing with me." Nope. I ended up getting a tattoo. So, I got a tattoo with, the lowrider guy, the Mexico flag, and some wording in Old English, and it says "Raza Unida." Okay, like United People. And, I was like, "Man, that's cool. I'm gonna go ahead and get it." So, I'm 41 now, and just a couple weeks ago, um, I got it redone. I ended up getting it all refreshed and everything because, man, it looks sad. It was to the point where when I came back and showed my kids, they're like, "Oh, that's what it's supposed to look like." So, let me show you. This is what it is right here. Oops. There you go. So it's that right there, okay? It looks pretty good. Like, the guy who did it, well done. Thank you. He did really well. So here's the thing, though, okay? When I got this done, my dad had no idea. No idea. He did not know. And if I have if you have not been here when I've described my dad, if you've ever watched that '70s show, Foreman's dad, Red, that's my dad. He's the Mexican version of Red. Like, straight up, put a foot in your ass, Red. And I was Foreman, and a good friend of mine was Hyde. So, I remember I was like, what do I tell dad? And we're like, what are you gonna do? I was like, I guess I'm gonna hide it. So I did. Until I was 18, I hid this tattoo. Now, if you've heard some of the other stories that I've shared from when I was growing up, um, like my parents caught me skipping school one time, and I was my junior year, I was skipping my government class. Like, I was doing good in it, but I was bored. So I started skipping the class. And eventually, the teacher, who was also my dad's teacher in high school, ends up calling home. Okay? Calls home. My dad and I sound exactly the same on the phone. That's a little different now. But then we sounded a lot alike. So I took a shot. Hi, this is Rich's government teacher. Um, I'll just say his name, Mr. Joe Spurns. And I was looking to see if I could talk to Richard, my dad. And I said, "Oh, yeah, that's hi, how are you doing?" I pretended to be my dad. Yes. I pretended to be my dad. And a few weeks later, like, I completely forgot about the call. So a few weeks later, end up going to parent teacher conference. Now, it didn't matter that I was in high school. It didn't matter that I was a junior or that I was about to be a senior. My parents would go with us no matter what. But it was my mom who would always go with me. And for whatever reason, at the last second, they decided to switch. And I was kind of freaking out. But I was like, I haven't done anything. Everything will be fine. So we go to parent teacher conference. Go through every teacher. Flying colors. Everything is good. Until we get to the last teacher, Mr. Joe Spurns, my government teacher. My dad and I sit down. Mr. Joe Spurns says, "Richard, it was so good to talk to you a few weeks back. It's good to hear that you're doing well." And it was at that moment, I knew I was dead. Uh, Dude, I shit you not, okay? I'm sitting there looking at Mr. Joe Spurns, but I feel death on this side of my face. The heat was overwhelming. My father peering into my soul, picking it apart as I slowly turn to look at him. I see it so vividly in my head right now. It's freaking me out. And I'm a grown-ass man. I'm 41. And I just remember him saying, So we talked, huh? We spoke? We spoke on the phone?" And I just remember going, and turning around and looking at my teacher, and he's already looking at me like, "Huh?" And I said, I'm really sorry, Mr. Joe Spurns, you actually spoke to me. It wasn't my dad." And he goes, "Oh, okay." And I look over at my dad and he goes, "Get your ass out in the hallway right now." I was like, "Oh my god, I'm dead." So, I'm standing in the hallway, right? I'm standing in the hallway, and some of my buddies walk up, and they're like, "Hey, man, what's going on?" I was like, "I can't talk right now." They're like, "What? What? What's Are you okay?" And then my dad walks out, and he goes, "Hey." And they see him, and they're like, "Oh, dude, sorry, good luck." They run away. Oh, man, because my dad was he coached us, growing up. Chelsea, I'm rolling. Good, good, I'm glad. Oh, man. James, what's going on, man? Um, so my dad, he coached us, baseball all the way up until, like, high school time and everything, and so they knew, like, my dad does not mess around, like, he's hardcore. He's funny as shit, but he's hardcore, man. Like I said, he's Red from that '70s show. And they run off, and I'm walking towards my dad, and we get in the car, and I go to say, "I'm sorry." He's like, don't, don't." Like, so I'm just like, just fucking sweat just rolling down my back, dude. Like, just like pucker factor straight up. And I'm just like, I'm dead. Like, there's now my dad has told his side of the story, and my mom has told her side of the story, like them talking and stuff, and my dad being like, "What the hell is with this kid?" And I'm over here just like, I took a shot. Like, I tried. And I thought I had it, but I didn't. It didn't work out. Oh, it's so good. So that's why I say, like, going back to Roxy talking about how, mom didn't know until, she was like 30. Those are some of the conversations, right, that you end up having with siblings, cousins, friends, or whatever. And if your parents are around, they're like, what? Are you for real? Or if you're like my dad will say, "I knew what you guys were doing. I knew. I knew." And we're like, let's see. Let me go back in here. Roxy says, "I hid my first one for a year. When they found out, they did not talk to me for 3 months." What? They were super pissed. And then 20 tattoos later. Oh, yeah. That is hilarious. Okay, so back to the tattoo story, right? Because I was kind of giving an example for those who may have never heard that story, but it's funny now. But oh man, I can see it in my head like it was yesterday, like all of it, and like the feelings, like ah. So I've got this tattoo, and back then, like I said, I'm 41 now. I was 15 when I got this tattoo that I just showed everyone, and so they didn't have, like, the stuff that they have now, to put, on to kinda keep it cool and then have it wrapped. No, it was just like a little patch, that was taped up, and, they put, like, fucking alcohol on it and everything, and I'm like, "Ah! Ooh!" I did, however, fall asleep during the actual tattoo, which was pretty good. Um, because I really didn't feel it. I don't know, I was tired, whatever. But either way, it felt, if you've got tattoos, after it's done, it feels like just like a bad sunburn, right? Um, excuse me. So I'm all happy because I got this done. Um, I'm super happy that I got this. I'm like, yeah, I got this for my birthday. My 15th birthday is gonna be so cool. And again, my dad didn't know, and he would randomly walk up to us sometimes and just be like, "Hey," and then like slap us on our arm or on our back or whatever, just playing around, and be like, we'd hit back or whatever, and or try to, my dad would be like, "For real? You want to step up?" We're like, "No, I mean, I thought we were playing." So, um, we get to the house, and my dad walks up and slaps the shit out of my arm, dude. "Steve, what's up, dude?" Yeah, well, he was helping set that ink, that's for sure. He slapped the shit out of my arm and hard, like you could hear it. And it took everything in me not to wince, not even a little bit, because I would be dead right there in that moment. DOA, yo. That's what it would have been. And it was like slow motion. It was like, "Hey," and I see the hand coming. I'm like, "Oh!" In my head, I'm like, "Ah!" Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm just so funny. Oh, shit. Yeah, that's exactly how it was. It just, "Ah, no." And then boom. And I'm just I just smiled, man. I was just like, "Hey, dad, how's it going?" But in the inside, it was like and then he goes, "You alright?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, yeah." And he's like, "What do you wanna do this weekend for your birthday?" And I was like, "Heal?" I mean, I didn't say that. In my head, I was that's what I was thinking. And, and I remember going to, the bathroom because the bathroom was just, like, right there, you walk into my house, living room, and then right to the left, first door or second door on the left, it was our bathroom. And after I had that interaction with my dad, I went into the bathroom and I shut the door, and I was like, "Oh god," like, that was so God. I was in there for a little bit, man. I just remember standing in there and just being like, "Okay, right, you're all right. Do you show any emotion? You're gonna get caught." So, after that it goes further, okay? There were other things that happened, okay? Remember I said I hid this thing until I was 18. Now in Michigan at the time, I don't know if it's still the same now, but at the time in Michigan, in order to get a tattoo, unless you had a parent who signed your slip, the waiver, you had to be 21. It wasn't 18. You had to be 21 to get one. So I say I hid it until I was 18. We'll get to that part. So, my family, like we would go to Chicago, or Texas. Texas usually around Christmas time, and for spring break, we would go to Chicago. We would always stay at this Marriott by the O'Hare Airport. Um, and we would go swimming and do all this other stuff. Sometimes we would have friends that would come with us. And this one time, my buddy Adam came with us, and we were all going down to the pool. And I was like, "Dude, I don't know what to do." And he's like, "What?" I was like, "Well, I've got this thing, man. I'm hiding it from my dad." And he's all laughing at me. And I was like, "How about you help me out?" And he goes, "Just wear a shirt, dude." I was like, "What am I gonna say? What am I gonna say about wearing a shirt?" So I had an all black T-shirt, and I put it on, and we go down to the pool, and everybody's in the pool, like I'm sitting in there, and and my dad goes, "Why the hell do you have a shirt on? We're here in the pool. Why do you have the shirt on?" And without skipping a beat, I said I said to him, "Well, Dad, I'm just kind of self-conscious, like I'm real pale and stuff. And there's girls around here, and I don't know, man. I was like, I don't." And he's like, "Okay, okay, but whatever, just keep the shirt on." And I was like, so then another time we are at a hotel, same buddy is with us, and my dumbass put on a white shirt. I wasn't even thinking at all. And we're in the pool, and we all went under, and we come back up, and he goes, "Oh, dude," and I was like, What's going on?" He goes, "Look at your arm," and I looked down. I was like, "Oh no!" And my dad is like getting ready. He's like turning around, okay, and I immediately cover it. So then I'm like this pretty much the whole time we're down there, and my dad goes, "What's wrong with you? Does your arm hurt or what?" And I said, "No, I'm cold. It's real cold down here, and just kind of cold." And he's like, "Just get out of the pool then. Go upstairs, go dry off." And I was like, "Okay." So that's how it went. I was hiding this thing, trying to think of different ways, different things to say, and then finally, I'm 18. My girlfriend at the time is with my dad and my brother and I. We were visiting some family in Texas, and she went with us. And we're in the room, and I'm changing my shirt, and my dad opens the door, and I wasn't even thinking, and he opens the door, and he's like, "Hey, you guys ready?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm just putting on my shirt." And he goes, "What the hell is that?" Pucker factor. And I'm just standing there, and I said, "What is what? What do you see in the room here?" And he goes, "What's on your arm?" And I went, "Nothing. There's nothing on my arm." And he goes, "No, stupid, the other arm." And I was like, "Fuck." Now, I'm 18, okay? I'm 18. I'm an adult. Yeah. And I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "Is that real? Is it real? Because I'm gonna scrub it off of you." And I said, "It is real, but you're not gonna scrub it off of me." So then he's like, "How long have you had that?" And I mean, I'm already busted as it is, and I look at my girlfriend, she's like, "You better just tell him." And I was like, I I've had it for, like, 3 years now. And he's just staring at me, and he goes, "Your mom signed the waiver, didn't she?" And I didn't know what to say. Like, I mean, of course, I I had to say yes, but I didn't say yes. I was just like, "Ah," and he goes, "That's all you had to do. That's it. That's all you had to do." Oh, man. Yeah, that sucked. Like, I but it was hilarious. Like, now, we laugh about it, of course, but I remember that again, plain as day, just like when my dad I got caught for pretending to be him on the phone, and the time that I got caught skipping. I remember it vividly, and he was pissed the rest of the day. But then, towards the end of the night, he's like, "Well, I mean, there's nothing I can do." He's like, "The shit's permanent." He goes, "It looks stupid anyway." And I was like, I was all laughing. Now he's like, "Nah, it's cool." He goes, "But I was mad. That's why I said that, because I was mad." I was like, "It's all right, Dad. I still love you." Oh shit. So that is the story that I've been wanting to tell you for 3 different open mics. Like I said, the question that I kept putting out there was, what is something that you hid from your parents? And that was the tattoo. It was my dad. I hid it from my dad for that long, man. It was fun. Oh, so funny. But like I said, there's a lot of stuff like that we went through, and it's so funny sometimes to be reflecting on some of those times, and my parents just being like, "What the F were you thinking? Like, how on earth are you alive right now? Like, what is it?" And I said, Obviously, we have a greater purpose, I guess, in life." But and maybe it was, I can be here and share this story with you all. But I hope you enjoyed that story because that was fun and a good time. So, there's a couple other things I want to share with you. Something that I did last night, but I'll save that for the very end. Um, I have been talking for a little bit now. It's a couple months that I put some teasers out. Now I'm going to start with that. Okay, I'm going to start with the teasers. So for when I started doing um when I started doing all of this, I I didn't know how it was going to go. And when I say all of this, I mean Dare to be Great. That's what we're about to talk about right now. I wasn't sure how it was going to go. I was I was going to be happy. I was happy with 100 people. Like that's what I was thinking was going to happen with Dare to be Great, the very first one. That it was going to be. I had already planned that it was just going to be something small, something intimate, virtual event where we all come together. We've got all these amazing speakers, and we're giving back, um, to all of you, the most vital piece of public safety. And I was excited, but also nervous because, again, I didn't know how it was going to go. And then I remember I just happened to check the numbers. And the way I had it, it was split into 3 different days. It was 3 different days, but it was also 3 different, like, sign-up events. Because that was one part that I didn't know if Crowdcast, the platform that I use for Dare to Be Great, would allow all of those to be in just one event, which it did. But for that time, that was a learning thing for me. I had it split up into 3 days. So the very first time I check numbers, adding all 3 days up, that first time I checked, the numbers added up to 911. And I thought, what are the odds? Seriously, what are the odds that those 3 days, when trying to do this virtual event, that they add up to 911? When I saw that number, I thought, things are going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And I put this post out there, and actually, when I did open mic, I put the numbers out there, and I had people add them up and then put it in the comments. And that that right there, like, just even now thinking about it, it hits me right in the feels, man, because I knew that it would be okay, no matter what, that it was going to be okay. And and right away with those numbers, 911, I was like, that completely blew my expectations because, again, like 100, that's what I had planned on. For the first one, there were over 7,000 attendees from around the world. For all of them, there's been between 10 to 11,000 altogether. Now, I had only planned on doing 3. I was just going to do a trilogy and, be out. But there were a lot of people who sent in messages and also stopped me at conferences, whether it was state or national ones, and said how much they loved Dare to Be Great, because a lot of them don't get a chance to go to conferences, whether it be national or state conferences, sometimes training in general. And it was awesome to be able to be there and not only have unlimited registration, but unlimited viewing so that people could go back and watch whenever they wanted to. And and people stopping me, telling me to reconsider my stance on not doing any more Dare to Be Greats, to do a 4th one. And James, dude, you got bullied into that. Not exactly. Like, I know everybody was saying it in the comments and stuff, and it was funny. Like, I still wasn't gonna do it. I wasn't going to. I was not going to do it, no matter how fun it was that everybody was saying stuff in the audience. But it was everybody who was stopping me and sending in messages and saying, "We really want another one," and I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it, and there was one person in San Antonio last year. I was getting ready to head to the last, the closing party thing that they did at SeaWorld, and she introduced herself, said hello and everything, and she goes, I really want you to reconsider your stance on Dare to Be Great. There needs to be a fourth one." And we were just talking for a little while, and I was like, wow, maybe I should. Maybe I should do it. So then I started talking to some people. Excuse me. And I put some videos out. And actually, when I started teasing this, if you know me, you know that I'm a pro wrestling fan. Love Ric Flair. Ric Flair had a stable and still does. It's called the Four Horsemen. So that's where the teasers started. I'd love to play games online and share. Yes, Roxy. Woo! My daughters, my youngest daughter especially, she'll walk around randomly and just go, "Woo, Ric Flair." It's hilarious. I love it. But I if you have seen or paid attention to any of the stuff that I do in social media when there's something that's getting ready to drop, I love to put out teasers and puzzles because there's a lot of people who will try to figure it out. And it's fun, it builds that buzz for whatever it is that's going to happen. And so that's where the teasers started. I started sharing pictures of the Four Horsemen, and all of them are like this. What? Roxy? I saw him once in a bar. I'll never forget it. No shit. Oh, I'm jealous. That is awesome. Ah. So I was putting that out there and I was getting messages from people saying, "Why? What's with these pictures that you're posting? Like, it's kind of weird. Like, we know you like wrestling and stuff, but they're like showing up at random times." And I had them scheduled out for them to post at certain times. And my response was always, "Well, what's the common thing that you see on these pictures? There's four people. They're throwing up a number four." So then some of the other folks that I was speaking with, I had them take selfies and throw up the number four. And there were people who were in the comments and everything, just commenting, "What is this all about? I want to know what this is. Why are you guys posting pictures with the number four? Like, I want in. Like, what is going on?" And we just kept going. And then I created a TikTok. And I had some folks on there dancing and at the end throwing up a number four to a song by Daft Punk called One More Time. That was a huge hint right there. Again, I love playing puzzles, playing games, putting puzzles out there, teasers. And there were a few people who commented saying, "Does this mean you're doing a fourth one? Is that what this means?" So then we started revealing and doing all this other stuff. And then I threw the teaser video out there. And then, boom, Dare to Be Great 4 coming up December 5th through the 8th of 2022. We're back. It's so much fun, man. I love it. So I'm going to show you something here. For all of you who are here right now with me for open mic, everybody else will find out tomorrow. But for all of you who are watching right now, I want to show you this. So get ready. I'm going to share my screen here. Boom. Oh, that's right. Here is the reveal. And we're going back. Refreshed the graphics. We're going black and gold style because this is the era of the headset. Dare to Be Great 4, December 5th through the 8th of 2022. These are your keynote speakers, and it is going to be awesome. They bring an energy that I can't get enough of, and the shit's powerful, and you're going to feel it as well. I've got the speaker slicks that are going to be going out, and so you've got Samantha Hawkins, training technician. She was also the 2020 Within the Trenches Continuing Education Scholarship recipient. Now, 2020, everything went to shit, right? But San Antonio ended up fulfilling that scholarship so that she could go, and she was going anyway, but that scholarship helped paid for a lot of stuff, and it was good. I was so happy that we were able to still do that. So she's out of Georgia, Cobb County 911, and then you've got Dominique Mathis, who is also the founder of Hello 911. She's a training supervisor out at Broward Sheriff's Office, out of Florida, and then we've got Roxy Van Gundy, Lyon County 911. She's director out there, and it is going to be the shit. And a big thank you to our diamond sponsors, all of the sponsors, of course, but diamond sponsors in digital and 911 Wonder Women Inc. I'm excited, man. This is going to be good. It's going to be so much fun. Again, I'm working on all of the speaker announcements and everything. The speakers are going to end up sharing their stuff as well, and you are going to get to read the sessions that they have coming up, and damn, am I excited for all of you to be able to check that out. Another thing, while we're here, you're the first to see this. Registration is up. Now, I will say, the schedule, I have to add that on there. I've had a lot of shit going on, and I've been designing like crazy since last week Friday. I have been designing all of this stuff and getting it ready for December. Dude, there's a lot of shit that I have going designing wise and stuff. But this right here, that link, the registration is live. So please go up in there, check it out. And I'm actually going to show you here really quick what this looks like. So let me drop this off the screen here. Let me find it. And I'm going to be posting this tomorrow too. But again, all of you are the first ones to see it. And I'm so excited that you were able to be here with me tonight to see this. So I want to share this here really quick. And it is right here. Boom. Okay. So this is what it looks like. So this is Crowdcast version 2. Okay. I already put something in there. We've got the keynotes who have registered already. So all of you here, register. It's free. This is free. Unlimited registration, unlimited playback for viewing. So even if you can't attend live, you can watch it on demand. So one of the challenges I want to put out there is to see which state or which area of the world has the biggest presence for Dare to Be Great 4. That's your challenge. I'm going to be putting that out there as well tomorrow when I post this up. But this is what it looks like. Once you get in there, this right here is the lobby. So this chat, like you've seen in Crowdcast before, each session has its own chat, right? Well, now for Crowdcast version 2, we've got the information here, the day that it starts, the time, we've got our graphic, and then we've got this link. Because before it was kind of small, it was like this up here. You click on it, you could see all of the stuff. Well, it's also right here now too. But this is the event lobby, and you can chat here in the lobby. And then we've got our chat, we've got polls, And then, of course, you can see the people that are on there. Now, one of the cool things to remember is that when you register, or if you're on Crowdcast already, add some information to your profile. So as you can see right there, I'm hovering over my face. You can see my name, some of the stuff that represents me, but also my website and my email address. That's one of the things that a lot of you have gone through these sessions are like, what's your email? Send me your email. Just put it in your profile when you register because it's right there, man. You just hover over and bam, your information is there. So all of that is right there. That's good. So if we click on schedule, again, I'm adding to the schedule, but it'll all show up here on this side. The other cool thing too is that when you go into the lobby and you click on the schedule, let's say this one is already in replay mode, it'll say replay. The next one will be the one that's live. It'll actually say that it's live. And you can click between whichever one. That much more convenient. So I wanted to show you this so that you could see. Now I'm going to close the schedule here, but this is what it is. So register. You will not be sorry. And again, a challenge out there for all of you to see which state or which area can have the largest presence. Let's do this. Again, this is the era of the headset, man. It is going to be awesome. I'm super excited for this and to have you all here and to be able to share this with you, to show you Crowdcast version 2, but also, have the registration out there and then show you your keynotes. And it is going to be a good time. Now, we got one last thing to show you. Well, two things. Because one's an image, the other one is a video. So last night, my brother and I, my son Logan, we were in Detroit. And we had an amazing experience. And it was this. So I don't know if you know the band Gorillaz, but if you do, you know how badass they are. And we had the chance yesterday, sitting in the second row right next to the stage, to experience Gorillaz live. Man, was it an amazing show. It was so awesome. And there was something that happened last night during the encore part. Now, this is, if you know the video, this is to the video or to the song Clint Eastwood, okay? They had left the stage for a couple minutes, and of course, we're all there screaming and everything, like, yeah, Gorillaz, Gorillaz. And then they come back for their encore. Clint Eastwood was the very last song that they played, and I was able to capture this picture, and again, such a good time. But there was something that happened that I want to share with you that I got on video because it was such a cool moment, and I thought it would be really, really good to be able to share this with all of you as we wrap up this episode of Open Mic. Because once again, when we're here for Open Mic, we check in on each other. We share these stories and we laugh together, and we're able to heal and find, closure, some form of it, through the power of storytelling. And laughter is good medicine. But I thought this was a cool message. So I'm going to play this, and I'm going to post this tomorrow as well. But I thought you would get something out of it because, there's a lot of times, we walk through this journey of life, and we don't know when people are going through shit, right? Or there's people out there who are trying to troll you or tell you what to do or how to feel or who to love. And as bullshit. Let's live life. So I want to show this to you because it really It really got me here. So here we go. And let me adjust this because I want to make sure that you can hear it. All right. I'm going to share this video. Now, also, when the music starts, I'll have to cut it because otherwise I'll get flagged. So, well, and it's about 3.5 minutes long or so, or 3 minutes, something like that. But please hang in there because it's a cool message. All right, so here we go. So this was the second to the last song, I believe, and De La Soul had just walked up on stage. If you know De La Soul, then you know again how badass they are. They do a lot of stuff with Gorillaz. So here we go.
How you doing, y'all? No. You sound a little sleepy. How you doing, y'all? Everyone, put your hand in the air like this, please. It's been a long, amazing show. But we still gotta stretch out our arms. Stretch your other arm up. If you're feeling brave, extend your arms out like this. Put it around someone you don't know. Look that person in his eye and say, hi. How you doing? All right, everyone put your hands up like this. Put your hands up. Just one. And I need you to lower it down about here. We're going to do a little pledge, okay? I need everyone to say, are you ready? Actually, are you ready? Are you ready? Okay. So just keep your hand like this. Everyone, I see everyone's hand. Now you got to repeat after me, please. Say, I will never let anyone. This is how beautiful. Tell me what to think. I need you to say, I will never let anyone. I like that you kept singing. That's funny. Tell me what to say. Unless it's the Gorillaz. But we can keep going. Keep your hand up. Say, I will never let anyone. Tell me who to love. That's very important, y'all. Say, I will never let anyone tell me how to feel. I need you to say, I feel strong. I feel brave. I feel it was a great choice to come to this show tonight. And since I came to the show, say, I feel good.
So I want to stop it right there really quick and go back through this because that was such a great moment. You could feel the energy in that room, just everyone coming together as humans, man. It was awesome. As you can see, like I'm feeling it right now. But again, I want to go through this, just what he was saying. And of course, there was, some humor in there as well to, keep it light and stuff. But if you really think about it, I mean, just so much going on. So he says, I will never let anyone tell me what to think. I will never let anyone tell me what to say. I will never let anyone tell me who to love. And he says, that's very important, y'all. And then he says, I will never let anyone tell me how to feel. And he goes, I feel strong. I feel great. And then at the end, I feel good. I'll stop it right there because I'll get flagged. But what a cool moment and something to take with you. So thank you all for being here tonight with me and sharing this time together like we do every Thursday for Open Mic Live. Take care of each other, man. If you need anything, reach out to each other. We're all we've got. So thank you. And for the job that you do as the most vital piece of public safety. Thank you. Whew. All right. This live broadcast was sponsored by InDigital as well as Carbine. And thank you to patrons, as always, for everything. If you have any comments, questions, or you want to be a guest on the show, you can email us, and that'll be wttpodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter. That is @91podcast. You can like us on Facebook. That is facebook.com/Within the Trenches Podcast. If you're looking for any bonus content, you can check us out, support us, and that is patreon.com/WTT Podcast. Get out there and register for DTBG 4. It is going to be amazing. And you can see this on YouTube, Facebook, as well as Twitter. And then for the flagship show, Within the Trenches Podcast, you can listen 24/7 on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, your favorite podcasting app, and withinthetrenches.net. Have a good one, everyone. I'll see you in the next one.